Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Blue Eyes White guy here. I decided to change up the channel name, give it something unique. There are a lot of SSJ Blue Vegetas out there on the YouTubes, and I was getting kind of tired of the name. Like, I'd rather have something else. So you know what? New channel name, new updated Timelord deck profile. Let's get on into it. So, first off, standard, everybody must run it. 3, Time Maiden. So Time Maiden, you must run 3. You cannot run less. There is no debate. Best Time Lord monster there is. If you control a monster, special summon it from your hand. And it counts as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of one of your Time Lord dudes. You can tribute her to special summon, not special summon, my bad, to add from your deck to your hand a Time Lord monster with 0 attack. And then her effect, if she's in the graveyard, you can banish her to special summon a Time Lord monster from your deck with 0 attack, ignoring summoning conditions. But you can't special summon anything else but Time Lords for the rest of the term, which is the downside to it, really. Still a great card. Then my personal favorite, Time Lord. 3 of Sandion, the Time Lord. He's a little different than the other Time Lords, I guess you could say. First off, you can only control 1 of him. So if you normal summon him, activate Celestial Transformation, you cannot get out a second. And yeah. You can only normal summon him if your opponent controls a monster, so basically Cyber Dragon, but for normal summons. And all Time Lords have a unique effect where at the end of the battle phase, something happens. Then they all have this same standard effect. They cannot be special summoned from the deck. And that they cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And you take no damage from attacks involving them. And then during the standby phase, shuffle the card in the deck. So the Time Lords get shuffled back into the deck during your next standby phase. Not your opponent's, but yours. But then his unique effect at the end of the battle phase, if he battled, burn 2k burn damage. And then 3 of Lazion, the Time Lord. His unique effect is that during the at the end of the battle phase, shuffles all cards from the graveyard back into the deck. So, kind of a big screw you to Lightsworns. They're like, no, you're not getting out Judgment Dragon anytime today. That's a nice graveyard you got there. It's going to return all that back to the deck. And then he has a separate effect. Once per turn, if your opponent were to draw a card, burn them for 1,000. Pretty standard. So just burn them for 1k at the start of their draw phase right then and there. 2 of Mickey-on, the Time Lord. His unique effect at the end of the battle phase, if he battle, have your opponent's life points. You're getting your opponent's life points and cutting them in half. And then after that, 2 of Raffion, the Time Lord. So what Raffion does is that it burns your opponent for the damage, and it burns your opponent for the attack of the monster it battled. And then 2, Medion. At the end of the battle phase, if he battles, return all face-up monsters your opponent controls back into the hand, or all face-up monsters on the field back to the hand. And then your opponent takes 300 damage for each monster turned. So you can kind of probably splash in a Kaiju engine with this, just Kaiju your opponent's monsters and get them back to your hand. And your opponent takes burn damage. 2 Zaphion to finish up the Time Lord monsters. So Zaphion, at the end battle phase, if she battled, shuffle all spell traps back into the deck. Your opponent takes no burn damage. It's pretty good against Sky Strikers, I guess you could say, probably Altergeist. But other than that, no burn damage. People could probably just run 1. Some people might not run any, but yeah, I like to keep it in. 1 moment, let me just clear the mods before we go on to the spells. That way we don't clog up the glorious JoJo playmat. On to the spells. 3 Celestial Transformation. Standard, must run 3. You have to. Celestial Transformation. Special summon a fairy monster from your hand. The attack is halved and is destroyed during the end phase. Does not matter at all. It's literally a free Time Lord. And attack being halved doesn't matter. They all have 0 attack except for Sand9, which is going to go down to 2k, but that does not matter. Destroyed during the end phase. They cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And plus, you're probably going to use it for Xyz material, if anything. On to draw power 3, advanced draw. Tributing your Time Lords or just level 8 or higher monster in general, draw 2 cards. Really helps out. 3-power duality. You don't do as much special summoning as one would seem in the deck. It's mainly a good bit of just normal summoning your Time Lords. The only time you special summon is if you have the cards let you do. It's like Celestial Transformation, Monster Reborn, and 1-for-1. Time Maiden also helps out. But yeah, and that, hardly any special summoning. So power duality is great draw power. 2 double summon. What I like to do is you can normal summon one of your Time Lord dudes, activate advanced draw, draw 2, activate double summon, get another out on the field. Then on to the one-ofs. The one dark hole wipes your opponent board. Your monsters are going to stay. Foolish Burial, just more Time Maiden resources. 1-for-1 Time Maiden resources. Then Monster Reborn. At first I was not running this card because during online testing, they never really hit the grave. Time Lords usually just got their effect off of getting special summoned, of getting shuffled back into the deck during the standby phase. So yeah, never really hit the grave, but among testing with friends, after I finished the deck, there was a lot of them going to the grave. So, get rid of the spells, move on to the traps. For the traps, I am running 2 Empty Machine. Empty Machine, the first time it would be destroyed by a card effect, it's not. Then once per turn, you can activate one of these effects. Discard a level 10, draw 1 card, so draw power if needed. And then if you have, this is the only card in your spell and trap zone. Target a Time Lord in the grave, shuffle it back to the deck, and then set 1 Infinite Machine directly from the deck. So Infinite Machine, what it does, you have to send a face-up Empty Machine from the spell and trap zone to the grave to activate it. Then you can activate one of these effects per turn. During the main phase 1, special summon a Time Lord monster from your hand. So you do a little more special summon because it's Infinite Machine, but sometimes these traps don't go off. Some people don't run it, but I like to splash in this engine because if you get off, you're in a good position. And then his other effect is you can target a Time Lord monster in the grave, shuffle it back to the deck, then set 1 Infinite Light directly from the deck. So Infinite Light does, you activate it by sending a face-up Infinite Machine from the grave, and this card cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So yeah, it's gonna stay, and your Time Lord monsters cannot be targeted by card effects. So at first, they just were not destroyed, but they can still be banished, and since most things that banish target them, they can now no longer be targeted, making them practically invulnerable, or fully invulnerable, I guess you could say. Then their effect of getting shuffled back during the standby phase no longer happens. They're going to stay on the field. And then if you control no monsters, you can special summon up to 1 Time Lord monster from your hand, deck, and graveyard. So special summon 3 Time Lord dudes. So yeah, it's a lot of effects going off. Then for the final spells, I run 3 Torrential Tribute. So Torrential Tribute it does wonders for the deck. It is great. I updated this deck like 2 days after the first deck profile went up. I was like, I'll throw in Torrential Tributes and Monster Reborns. Dear Lord, did it help so much, the Torrential Tributes. I went up against a Cybers player. He was doing some cool stuff. He got out like 2 Link monsters. He went to his third, and I'm like, hey, he has no cards in his hand. I should probably activate Torrential. So I did. He surrendered. Like, as soon as Torrential was out, he was like, nope, I'm out of here. So Torrential really helps out with the deck. And your stuff won't get destroyed, so yay. Now, on to the extra deck. 3 of Super Dreadnought, Rail Cannon, Gustav Max. Burn damage. Celestial Transformation. Normal summon 1 dude, activate, get out another. Do your battle phase shenanigans. Main phase 2, go into this guy for some big old burn damage. Sometimes you have OTK potential if you get out. So if you get out Sandion, and which one is it? Mikion. So you're going to be using Mikion to have your opponent's life points. If they're at full, they'll go down to 4k. Use Sandion to burn them for 2k. Main phase 2, Exist summon into Gustav Max. Burn for the last 2k 4 game. So that's that. Dropping cards. Doesn't matter, I'll pick them up later. So, next off, 3 Super Dora. So it's kind of like a first turn play. I kind of just run 3 of most trains just to fill up space, really. Like, you don't have much else. You could probably throw in Pot of Extravagance, in all honesty, because you don't go into the main deck that often. You know, I never really thought of that till now. So yeah, Pot of Extravagance is actually pretty good for the deck. And, yeah. So, Superdora. Use your first turn play if you have Celestial Transformation. Get into him, you have a 4K wall that your opponent can't get over. Detach material, target him, and he's going to be unaffected for that turn by card effects. Really good card. 3 of Sky Pal's Gangbang, or Gang Aridai. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sky Pal's Gangbang. There we go. So, basically detach material from this card, inflict 1,000 burn hit, target one card your opponent controls, and destroy it, then inflict 1,000 burn damage. You can only activate that effect once per duel. For the last train, Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Juggernaut Libe, or Ibli, whatever you pronounce it. I finally have this card. One card I needed to finish off the deck and bring you guys an updated deck profile. So happy I now have this. Great card, helps us swing in for if you just want to go for sheer damage, OTK potential, instead of just the burn damage, you can go for Juggernaut Libe. Then on for the last XZs. We have Superdimensional Robot Galaxy Destroyer. 3 level 10 monsters, so if you can get Infinite Light, get out 3 dudes, go into this guy. Once per turn, attach material, destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls. All spell and traps, and they cannot activate spell or trap cards in response to this activation. They activate monster effects, which is kind of but they can't activate anything in response, and it is a 5k beat stick, so it is beating over everything. On to some links I have, kind of just random ones in here. Space Insulator, Akashic Magician. So Akashic Magician, you can potentially go into this. It requires 2 monsters with the same type. Most of them are fire. I do believe a good bit of them are fire. I'll bring out the fire dudes. You got Chimikion, got your Medion, another Medion. Then you got your Lazion. I'm pretty sure that's like all your fire dudes. Like you have Light Monster of Time Maiden and Sandion. Pretty sure, yeah, that's the only Aqua dude. And yeah, so you have some fire and light that you can use to get into it, into Akashic Magician. But that's about it. These are kind of just some random ones that I threw together. Deco, Talker, Poxy Dragon. I just kind of threw these in here. The main ones that you want to worry about for extra deck are all of these. These are your main dudes that you're getting into that are going to be doing stuff. Sometimes this guy and this guy don't even matter. Most of the time, this guy is the only one that matters because he's the game ender. Spicy Tech, if you just want to go for sheer damage for game. Only going to come up once, most likely. So yeah, that's it for my updated Timelord deck profile. I hope y'all guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one.